do you see over there, bud? Are you watching? I don't see anybody or anything. D has his own ideas of entertainment. Good morning. Still morning? Should still be morning. I barely slept last night. Went to bed actually kind of early for me, like 3 or something, and woke up at 7 a.m. with Ashley. Usually, you know, when her alarm goes off and stuff, it'll wake me up, but I'll just roll over. But today, when her alarm went off, I was like, wide awake, and immediately filled with like all the anxieties of life. You know what I mean? They all just came rushing in at once. I was like dead to the world, and then and I'm like, oh God, bills. Oh God, oh God. Started my day with a total meltdown. Always fun. Always a fun way to get things started. What are you up to these days? You know, making a lot of fucking stuff for the internet. Trying to keep the new business that I started off the ground and soaring. You know what I mean? Loved the patron-only episode last night. Glad you enjoyed it, my friend. Repsian said pimp smells of BO and pimp went mental. Okay. Thanks for keeping me updated. Morning, Powell. Morning. What's the business? Pessimist Productions. So, started a video production company with TJ and Scotty. All equal share partners. And it's taken off. It's doing really well. We cracked the top 100 patrons a couple of months ago. We're up to 95 now. So we keep on climbing that ladder, slowly but surely. I was looking today, and we actually just passed Sargon of Akkad in terms of patronage. He was number 95, and we were 96, and a couple of days ago, we switched places. So everything's up, up, up. That's a really good metric for me. You know, he's a popular dude. He's got a really big channel. He makes a lot of money doing what he does, and you know what we made is now surpassed him. So that's cool, and well, at least in terms of patrons. You have to forgive me for the clinging liquid to my mustache, but it's just something that happens when I'm drinking, like, this is a chai tea latte. And it's thick. So I have to get used to this cycle of taking a sip, getting some chai on my fucking stash. Nah, I'm not shaving the stash, dude. The stash stays. It's just part of what you got to do. You gotta learn. Trim around the mouth. Nah. See, what I used to do that. I used to trim this back and stuff, but I'll tell you what ends up happening. My beard is crazy. So if I trim this back, these little hairs will start going out like this. Instead of hanging down, they'll go out. And so they'll start, you know, I'll wake up with them up my nose and shit. It's no bueno. Like, at least like this, they're long enough that most of them kind of just blend into the beard. But when I'm drinking, you know, like I said, something milky or something thick, just gotta clean it out of the mustache, dude. Never played any of the Spider-Man games. Well, maybe that's not true. I remember playing one of the open world kind of swing around Spider-Man games, but I don't remember which one it was. I never got into them. Rock That Nirvana, my favorite. She in the front. Oh yeah. 94 Explorer, dude. Rock That Nirvana, my favorite. She in the front seat, headbanging. Damn, I forgot what her name is. Yeah. You ever play any of the Counter-Strike games? Not really. No. I played a little bit of Counter-Strike back in the day. Booted it up, played it with some friends long enough for me to realize that it was not my kind of game. No. Just not my thing. What do I think of the Spider-Man Raimi movies? I don't know, man. Inconsistent, I guess, would be the one-word answer to that. All of them. I feel like they're inconsistent one to the next. I feel like they're inconsistent within each film as well. But they've got their moments. You know what I mean? A lot of people dog them out totally. I don't. You know, they've got their moments. Some interesting stuff going on there. Average length of a hair of Paul's beard is 2 millimeters, meaning that the rest of what you see is chin and neck fat. Okay, Moppy Puppy. Okay. All right. TJ's made that joke before, though. He made a joke in one of his videos that this isn't even a beard. Like, there's just skin right behind there. It's just stubble. He made that joke. So you're stealing jokes now? He made that joke in Eggs 2, Bricks 3. You can go see it. I even provided you with evidence that you stole the joke. So now I want everybody to realize Moppy Puppy has run out of fat jokes to the point where he's stealing TJ's old jokes. Stealing. Things have gotten bad for the Moppy Puppy. Yeah, he's been slipping lately. I told him that last show, man. I said, man, Moppy Puppy used to have the hot fat jokes every time, and now it's just like, man, he's reached the bottom of the barrel. Moppy Mencia, dude. Oh, Moppy Puppy. Good morning, Dylan Foster. How are you? DFF meetup at the Mall of America Hooters. All right, it's done. Let's go. I'm gonna go get in the car right now and start making my way to the Mall of America. I don't know how many hours it'll take for me to get there, but I'm on my way. Here's my awesome fat joke. Paul is so fat, he'll probably die of heart disease and it'll be sad. Damn, dude, that's a dark joke, but I liked it. Last night's DFF was good. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. Paul, why is food so good? I don't know, man. It's just stupid that it was made so delicious. Why would something so unhealthy for us be so delicious? You think Trump is going to get jealous and lash out for not getting invited to McCain's funeral? I don't care. Dude, I live in Minnesota and I go to the MOA all the time. I forgot to say it earlier, but the roller coaster doesn't go around the whole mall. Oh, that kind of sucks. I always imagine, I've never been to the Mall of America, but I always imagine that the roller coaster, like, went all throughout the mall. But I guess it don't. How bad a shape is your liver, Paul? I don't know. I mean, I drank a lot in my 20s, but since then I really haven't done a lot of drinking, you know. I occasionally drink. So I'm pretty sure my liver's okay. Probably a little fatty, I would guess. And we now treat the president like a little grade school girl. And the sad thing is it's appropriate. Yeah, I know. Well, how else are you supposed to treat him? Like, it's clearly a dude that doesn't understand how people perceive him. Ever had a moment in your life that if it were in a movie, it'd be foreshadowing? All the time, although it's hard to remember them. Those little moments of synchronicity, they're so fleeting. You know, something will happen to you, and you'll think about something that happened to you a week ago, and you'll go, Jesus. You know, like one of the ones that happened recently that I can remember was TJ joking about our house burning down the night that it did. You know what I mean? During the 24-hour show, TJ made some joke. I don't remember exactly what the context was, and it was just an offhanded thing. It wasn't a big, long rant he went on. But he ranted about us burning the house down or our house burning down or some shit. And less than fucking 6 hours later, it did. So, you know what I mean? Shit like that. What's your take on Alcoholics Anonymous? I mean, I don't know, man. It's a tough subject. I actually went to Al-Anon once, which is it's an adjunct of Alcohol Anonymous, but it's for families and children of alcoholics. And I was immediately struck by the religiosity of it. I went with my sister. We got together. Now, she was a Christian at the time. I wasn't. But we had gotten together to decide that we were going to try and go to this because we were both raised by an alcoholic. And we thought that it might lead to some understanding of not only our relationship with that alcoholic, but with the way that we had been raised and how we turned out and all that shit. So we went to an Al-Anon meeting, and it was immediately talk about the higher power. I mean, it just like started. They opened up the meeting and stuff, and everybody kind of introduced themselves, and then immediately it was like God. It was Bible banging from the get-go. And I was just like, wow. And I understand that concept, the idea that there's something outside of you that you should strive towards, is helpful to people who are getting off of drugs, or can be at least. So I wouldn't want to take that aspect away from people who use it, but for a person like me, I went to one of those meetings and never considered going to another one. And interestingly enough, even though it was hyper-religious, neither did my sister. My sister, being a super Christian, never went back to it either. So a frightening amount of rehabilitation programs for more than just alcohol, are basically just religious indoctrination camps that happen to help people with their Yeah. It's something that really ought to be looked at. And look, you don't want to deny people that kind of treatment. You know, if somebody's a hardcore Christian and going to some spiritual boot camp is going to help them reconcile getting rid of alcohol or drugs out of their life, then I want them to be able to do that. I don't want to deny an avenue of recovery, but it should be open. It should be honest about what it is, so that people that are looking to get into recovery should, you know, they're able to look at it and make an informed decision about which one of these meetings they want to attend. Do I want to go to the Jesus meeting? Or do I want to go to the meeting that, you know, talks about psychological principles and family dynamics and all that shit? You know, there should be a distinction, because it was less than useless for me. It was less than useless. Calling it a waste of time is an understatement. Was it Narcanon? Was it Narcanon that was the Scientologist-funded one? I almost got duped by that. Yeah. Narcanon is, yeah, and I love how they used Anon in it to kind of try and imply that it's an adjunct of Al-Anon or Alcoholics Anonymous. Using the Anon in there was definitely designed to trick people into thinking that it was in that same family of treatments, but really it's just a religious recruitment center, you know, for Scientology. Yeah, fun stuff. Overeaters Anonymous, is it the same? I don't know. I've never been to one of those. Like I said, I went to one Al-Anon meeting, and that pretty much showed me that that avenue of treatment is not going to work for me. Paul, you seemed kind of pissed when you had to bring in the groceries yesterday. No, I was doing a Highdeology in between, you know, Ashley going shopping and me going to TJ's house to start shit. So it was just, that was the buzzer. That was the buzzer beater. My card expired and I didn't get my new one in the mail, so I won't get to see private shows until it's replaced. That's okay, dude. I mean, when you get it in the mail, just become a patron. Our Patreon charges you immediately now, so as soon as you get it, you get access to the stuff. So as soon as your new card comes in the mail, just throw it up there. Oh, cool. Warhammer 40k Space Marine is free right now from the Humble store. That's pretty neat. Check out a rapper named Gizmo. Okay. Good timing for the end of the month. I can still catch your snake oil episodes. Yeah, man. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, that's a hot tip, Coolman. Thanks. Coolman keeping us abreast of the crazy deals. And it doesn't get better than that. A free game. I actually wanted that game, too. That's the first-person one, right? Where you play like a badass Space Marine. You gotta fucking shoot the orcs. I think I've had that game on my wish list for a long time, but it's never dropped to the $5 zone, so... The $5 zone for games that I'm not sure of, that's the trigger pull price for most games. Like if a brand new game comes out, like let's say like for example, Watch Dogs, right? That game looked interesting to me, but not interesting enough to pay $60 for. And so eventually, Watch Dogs, maybe a couple years from now, a Steam sale will come on and I'll see that shit. It'll be $4.99, and guess who's gonna get Watch Dogs then? I'm gonna get it. It's like that, man. Now, there are a few game companies and a few game franchises that get me to open up the wallet and pull $60 out of it. You know what I mean? Monster Hunter, GTA, Blizzard games usually, although not all of them. But yeah, if I'm not 100% sure about a game, I'm waiting until it's $5. And I can wait forever too. Monster Hunter was distilled disappointment. I couldn't disagree more. I've played now 3 iterations of Monster Hunter. I played 3U, 4U on the 3DS, and now World on the PC. And I've loved them all. My hunter rank, I think I just ranked up to like 56 or something like that. I'm in the 50s. I just beat my first tempered monsters, so I think I'm officially in the end game now. At the beginning of the end game, I guess. Who pays for anything these days? Oh man, Pulled Porky. You've been evangelizing the Pirate Bay in the chat for like 5 minutes now. It's like the 3rd comment of yours I've read. You do know that it doesn't make you elite hacker or a super duper deep state 4chan member to know about the Pirate Bay, right? You know that, right? You know that literally everybody that's ever logged on to the internet knows about the Pirate Bay, right? You evangelizing it into the chat? Like, oh, I just used the Pirate Bay. It's like, good for you. You and everybody else, retard. Now, why don't you shut up? What am I getting at? Shut your mouth about the Pirate Bay. That's what I'm getting at. Nobody cares that you use the Pirate Bay. Everybody here has visited the Pirate Bay and knows how it works. Torrenting is not some new, fresh, elite hacker fucking thing that you're putting everybody up on. Anything else? Why are you mad? Why are you mad, the frowny face? I love that, dude. At the first hint of me giving one troll some fucking attention, like 15 of them come out. They're like, salty, stupid, fat, please. It's like, nah, you ain't getting mentioned, bitch. You ain't earned a mention from me, bitch. Stay down there in the troll hole. You ain't popped your head up for me yet, bitch. Soon as I get the least bit salty at somebody, maybe he'll pay attention to me too. Yeesh. Simmer down, guys. Simmer down. I would say that there's plenty of attention to go around, but for you, there really isn't. You seem upset. Why do you have to be mad? It's just game. It's just game, Polsico. Why do you have to be mad? It's only game. Why you have to be mad? People ever harass your girlfriend for her hair? Not harass, but she gets, every time we go somewhere, somebody says something to her. I shit you not. We went to Waffle House at like 3 a.m. on Saturday, and 3 people walked up to her. The waitress and 2 patrons all walked up to her at various times of us eating waffles and went, I love your hair. It looks like cotton candy. She's like, thanks. Happens like everywhere we go. Literally everywhere. We went to the movies. When we went and saw the Megalodon, the dude that took our tickets was like, I love your hair. It's like, oh. She's finally getting the attention she craves. Yep. Yep. I mean, nobody, you know, dyes their hair pink or has a big beard like that if they don't want a little bit of attention. You know what I mean? Like, my beard is basically pink hair. What's your opinion on John Lennon? I don't know. I mean, he's a member of the Beatles. Is that an opinion or a fact? Who was your childhood hero? I don't know. I guess my dad. He'd probably be the closest. I don't really remember idolizing anybody as a child. There was nobody that I was like, I want to be just like you, except my dad. Probably my dad. Ever tried DMT? Ever done the DMT, Paul's Ego? That's what we really want to know. That's what we really need to know, Paul's Ego. You've been blathering on for fucking hundreds of hours on this show, but you've yet to answer the question that everybody's here to see you answer. Which is, you ever done a DMT? Tell us about DMT. Paul's Ego. You gonna do the DMT? You should try the DMT. I tried DMT and it did nothing. Maybe I'm immune. You didn't try DMT. You got shook, dude. Whoever gave you the DMT, whoever you bought the DMT for, gaffled your money up out of your stupid ass pocket and took it and spent it on some shit for them. Probably gave you some dried ass mushrooms or some shit. Here you go, this is DMT, kid. Oh yeah, that's $40. Luckily it was free. Well, you still got gaffled up. You still went home and ate something that wasn't DMT. Nobody's immune from DMT, dipshit. That's like those people that say like, I smoked a bunch of weed and it did nothing. I was like, no, you didn't. You mouthed a bunch of hits and blew them out. You didn't. If you inhaled weed, it would have done something to you. I love people that say that. I tried weed a couple times. It did nothing. It's like, I wish I could watch when you tried that weed. I bet it was like, man, I don't even feel nothing. You don't have to inhale weed. It sure helps. Sure helps, don't it? I tried weed a couple times. Never did nothing. TJ used to be one of those guys. TJ used to say that shit. Like back in the day before he became a pothead. People would ask him like, hey TJ, what do you think about weed? He'd be like, man, I hate that shit, dude. I tried it a couple times with my girlfriend Holly and I didn't even get high. I used to watch that shit and go like, you mouthed a couple of hits. You didn't even inhale them. Stupid. Inhale shaming. I mean, if you don't inhale, you're just wasting weed. If you mouth a hit, you're literally wasting the weed. I see people doing it all the time. Dude, at the meetups, people that don't usually smoke weed will be in the rotation and they'll get the J and they'll just mouth it. And I'm just like, oh, okay. All right, so that's one hit just blown into the air. Damn it. Would you consider yourself a bear? I don't even really know what the criteria is there. I got high for the first time a couple of days ago. I felt weird. Yeah, that's what it does. It makes you feel weird. That's the whole point. I'll be right back. I gotta go grab something. God, no. Get in here. Get in here, boy. Hey. Hey. How's it going? Dance, monkey. Okay. Okay, I'll do it. I'll dance, okay? Bears are big, hairy dudes. Well, I'm big, and my face is hairy, but I'm not super hairy outside of that. I don't got a lot of body hair and stuff, so I don't really think of myself as a hairy dude. But maybe, I don't know. I don't know, man, maybe. Whoa. All right, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. DB better. DP better, Pozigo. DP better. DB better. Pozigo, DB better. Pozigo. DB better. I've watched you since you first feuded with TJ, and I think Cinema for Cynics is your best work. Thanks. DP Beta Fat Cringe. Yeah. You ever listen to the singer Adam Gontier? No. Fat Minge. Cool. I got called a Minge. That's neat. Some yuck-mouthed fucking defeated king worshiper called me a Minge. Isn't that cute? I think that's cute. I don't know what a Minge is. Who knows? Who cares? Who outside of that blighted little island gives a fuck what a Minge is? Midgets should ride big dogs like horses. That'd be kind of cool. Female pubes. Ooh, okay. At least comb the beard. It looks like a brush. Dude, if I got a comb and ran it through my beard, you know what it would look like? Exactly what you're looking at right now. It's a beard, dude. One of these days you'll be able to grow one too, and you'll realize that it's not like your mom's hair on her head. You can't just drag a comb through it and make it all straight and pretty. One of these days, though, you'll start getting weird feelings, start getting hair in strange places, might even get a beard. DFF has gotten a lot better since the first few episodes. Yeah, dude. Yeah, buddy. Beards are literally pubes. Yes, they are. Are you happy with the growth of DFF? No, I'm not. I want it to be faster. I'm happy that it is growing, but I am not satisfied with the rate at which it's growing. I want it to be faster. I want to reach more folks. Why are you doing this live? Because if I did this not live, there would be absolutely nothing to talk about, because this is a show about having a conversation with my chat. See what I mean? Does that make sense? Hopefully that explained the whole thing to you. Hopefully that explained the whole thing to you. Why are you talking to the chat? Why are you talking to the chat, Paul Zigo? What's the point of that? I don't know. What makes me laugh? Absurdism. It's not the only thing that makes me laugh, but it's the thing that most consistently makes me laugh. Absurdist humor. I tend to have kind of a juvenile sense of humor as well. I like I like you know, dick and fart jokes, that sort of thing. You must be laughing nonstop then. Oh yeah, the news is like a stand-up comedy special for an absurdist. So, yeah, I laugh at the news all the time. Ashley will hear me in you know, my office, and she'll be like, "What are you watching?" I'll be like, "The news." I just love the news. I mean, I hate it, but I love it from an absurdist's perspective. Did you like Gucci Mane back in the day? Yeah, I liked Gucci back in the day. I remember listening to Black and Yellow and all that shit. I think everything is horrifying. Oh shit, that's Coolio, dude. It's Fantastic Voyage Coolio. What happened to you, man? You still spending most of your life living in a gangster's paradise, dude? I think since you started fucking dying at fart on the 24-hour show. I can't tell. I can tell you've got a juvenile sense of humor. To be fair, I was dying too, though. Yeah. I mean, look, dude. I am what I am. I like, I'm a humorist, so I like all styles of humor. But if you're gonna ask me which one makes me laugh the most, I'm gonna be honest. Farts are definitely funny. Farts are amazing. Like, they're just an amazing like social experience. Somebody's ass is jumping in the conversation. uh, the greatest things ever to exist. The top 10 list is great. Yeah. Accidental farts are the best. Yeah, or farts that aren't accidental but aren't controllable either. You know what I mean? Like, they just happen at inopportune moments, and you're like, oh, yeah, at awkward times. Right when you don't want one, you know what I mean? There's just so many different, scenarios in which the humble fart is the most hilarious thing. What did TJ call it? The last joke everyone tells, because when you die, you fart and piss and shit all over yourself. All your bodily functions cease and your body evacuates. So it's not uncommon for, dead people to fart for hours after they die. And TJ once brilliantly described farts as the last joke everyone tells. And I think that's awesome. I think that's true. Why are you quoting a Cher song in my chat? I don't get it. Paul, what gives you the will to live? Can I get back to you on that one? I don't know. Stubbornness, I guess. I guess that would be the best answer I could give you right now. Stubbornness. The fact that I can't do it again, don't care about that. I won't be around to lament my lack of a second chance at doing things, so that doesn't bug me. Just sheer, like, dogged, hard-headed stubbornness, bullheadedness. I mean, that pretty much typifies my entire, I don't know, like, life philosophy. At least in terms of how I barrel forward. I used to look at the different hurdles in my life and wonder, oh man, am I going to be able to make it? Like, can I do this again? There's no way I'll ever be able to do this again. Luckily, shit like this only happens once or twice in your life, and I've just had it happen over and over and over and over. I'm not even really complaining about it. I'm just being honest. I've been run through the fucking ringer in my life. I've been through a lot of shit. And at this point, at this age, with all the craziness in the past that I've been through, that have, things that I've either played a role in creating in my life that blew up in my face, or things that just came from out of nowhere and interceded in my life in negative ways. That stack is so deep that really, when I look at it and somebody asks me a question like, what gives you the will to live? What they're really asking is, why do you keep on going? And when I look at that stack of shit, I don't know. The only answer I can give you is just dogged fucking determination and stubbornness. Really stubbornness more than determination. It's just like, there's absolutely no way that this can happen, you know, that things can keep getting this bad. Eventually, I've got to reach some state of equilibrium. Eventually, I've got to reach some kind of maintainable level of fucking happiness with my environment and the people around me and my job and myself, most especially. And I just, you know, I don't think it's ever going to come. But that's what keeps me trying, at least. Do you think ignorance is an important part of being happy? No, not necessarily. I mean, I think there's probably a lot of ignorant people out there that are profoundly sad. This idea that stupid people are just happy all the time. I don't think so. They suffer from the same shit that intelligent people do. People like to think that depression and anxiety and stuff are the intelligent man's disease, but it's a disease that really affects everybody regardless of what walk of life they're from. You have a really great job. I do not understand how you can complain so much about it. I don't mean to hate, but seriously, your job is not that bad. You have no idea what my job is. What do you think my job is? If I had a conversation with you right now, and I asked you to tell me what you think I do for a living, you would give me some stupid, blithe, dismissive answer like, you make videos. You have no idea what goes into my day-to-day. You have no idea what goes into what I do. So for you to comment on my job not being all that bad or being super easy or being better than this, that, or the other thing, you're doing it from a position of ignorance. I love them, dude. I love the dudes that are just waiting there, seeing me get adversarial, like waiting for me to get adversarial with somebody. They're back again, dude. as soon as I have something contrary to say to somebody, they're like, "Oh yeah, well, what about you? You fat?" Hey guys, glad to see you're still there, dreaming of the day that I pay attention to you personally. One of the robots gonna take over. It can't happen soon enough. Right now would be too late. It's time. It's time, dude. Tickle the ivories. Okay. Yeah, let me go get on the piano for you guys. How's the South treating me? Will you consider running for office? No. Can you demonstrate what an inhale looks like for people who say I can't get high? No. Go look it up on YouTube, kid. Just nuke yourself and leave the rest of us out of it. Okay. Okay, Travis. That's how nukes work. Like, personal nukes have been invented. Like, it hits one person and a little tiny mushroom cloud, like, comes off the top of their head and they just die. Is that how those work? One-man nukes. He will ignore this because he uses heroin. I do. Cool. Man, that adds a lot of street cred to me. I didn't know I was a heroin user. Thanks for letting me know. Gives me a lot of street cred. Gives me an edge, you know what I mean? You live under my hat? Cool. Maybe all of you live under my hat. We've covered that before. That I might just be sitting in a dingy room somewhere, like imagining these shows. Some kind of weird narcissistic fantasy in my head. That I've got like an audience of people that all want to talk to me and stuff. But really, I'm just looking at a broken phone in a shitty room somewhere, rocking back and forth, going, "Oh yeah, yeah. What do we think about politics? Oh yeah, yeah. For me, you know, I don't really engage in politics anymore. You know, I see that the both sides are really corporatist, and you know, so." What's that? I'm fat? I'm fat? Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm not fat. You're fat. I'm fat. Who's this kid? Yeah, the nurses are all terrified of me because I yell mean things at them when they come in. I call them tismites and shit. Like they try and get my attention like 3 or 4 times for food. They're like, "Mr. Parkey, it's time to eat." And then finally I look at them and I'm like, "You know what? I've read your comment about how it's time to eat about 4 times and I haven't read it yet and I'm not going to read it. So guess what? You're timed out. You're timed out. 300 seconds to come up with something else to put in the chat. Thanks." And they're like, "What?" Do the trolls get to you eventually? Well, part of, like, here's the thing, and I've talked about this before, but I like to feed the trolls. I myself am a troll. I see the value in trolling. So part of feeding the trolls is allowing them to get to you a little bit. You know, I could ignore this whole chat. I could just turn it off and do one of these if I wanted to. But I purposefully expose myself to the trolls and allow them to get under my skin because once again, I think what they do, even if they're not really doing a public good in here, what troll kind does in keeping public figures honest, I think is useful. So that's why I feed them. And part of feeding them is allowing them to get under your skin, reading their stupid bullshit and letting yourself, you know, kind of get a little worked up about it. But really what they're doing, like I said, it may not be feeding any real public need here, but some of these guys are going and trolling, you know, other public figures, people that need to hear contrary opinion, need to be challenged and questioned. And, you know, I'm not saying I don't need to be challenged and questioned. Of course I do. Trolls are here for that. A lot of people hate that part of Highdeology. I've seen people bitch about it before. They're like, "I can't even watch Highdeology because it's just Paul arguing with some fucking troll or whatever." And it's like, well, I mean, sorry you don't enjoy that, but I think it's useful and necessary. You know, those people are out there in droves and nobody really seems to be talking to them other than to derisively kind of dismiss what they say. And I do that here too. But I do it in a more intimate setting. I don't get to sit and think of the perfect tweet to come back to them with, you know. I don't get to sit and ruminate on their stupid comment for 3 hours and come up with the perfect comeback. You know, I'm exposing myself to it now. And when I choose to respond to it, you know, I do. "Paul, you're a troll. Stop talking now." No. What's the biggest duck you'd take? What? Do I get a gay in butt? Oh man, dude, things have devolved. Right around the hour mark is when things seem to like the bottom falls out of these. You know, we're about 10 minutes from the hour mark, so I can see it's happening. The bottom starts to fall out. everybody runs out of shit to talk about, and so it just becomes like poopy butthole. Poopy butthole. You've answered 6 of my questions so far, 7, including this one. Why do I feel proud? I don't know. You've been asking good questions, apparently. I don't know what to say. You know, ask good questions, get good answers. That's always been the rules on Highdeology. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's always been the rules here, man. You know, if you ask good questions, pointed questions, allow me to spin off into other things, I'm gonna read them, unless I miss them. I don't read every question. Sometimes I have to take my eyes away. It's a pretty good mundane Matt stream. Hey guys, Matt Jarbo here, and I gotta tell you, I really am thankful that you came by to check out the channel today. I gotta tell you, why should you subscribe to another guy on YouTube? Well, let me tell you why, okay? Let me tell you what I'm all about here on the Mundane Matt channel, okay? I cover news, politics, entertainment news, industry news, all from a perspective of a guy that's just kind of normal, that sits in his room, okay? And we're getting live and we're getting crazy. I'm interacting with you guys. You guys are enjoying what I'm doing, and that's what Mundane Matt's all about. Hey. Oof. That channel trailer, man. I could never upload something like that, guys. I gotta tell you, I could never do it. I have a thing in me. Like, if I made a video like that, like, hey guys, welcome to Pessimist Production. My name is Paul Zigo. So glad you came here to check out the channel. Hey, I want to give you guys a reason to become a patron over here. Let you know what we're all about. Let you know the kind of content we're creating. If I made something like that, that would never come out of my mouth, first of all. I'd never actually sit down and do that. But if it did, it would never be uploaded. It would never be uploaded. Like, I just have a facility in my head. I don't know about you guys, but when I see something like that, immediately I go, bullshit. And I don't want people to, their immediate reaction to me, I don't want to court bullshit. Now, some people are going to look at me and go, bullshit anyway. You know, you can't tailor make everybody's reaction, but I'm not going to invite that. Oof. What's up, guys? My name's Matt Jarbo, Mundane Matt here. Positivity blogging. Oh. Bleh. Do you have a wife? Not anymore. I'm divorced. Do you have a wife? Would you like to marry my daughter? Do you have wife? Do you have dog? Yes, I have dog. I have dog right here. Huh. Don't I? I have you. I have the dinosaur. He's right here. He's dog. Do you follow Joe Rogan's podcast? Any guest that piqued your interests? I don't watch every episode of it, but when there is a guest that is interesting, I really like watching. The last one that I watched that I found to be a really interesting, kind of disturbing guest was Chuck Palahniuk. He had, you know, probably most famous for writing the book that inspired the film Fight Club, but has written a bunch of other novels, known for his really, really violent and sexually explicit and crazy, psychologically disturbing style of writing. And he gave a really, really interesting, candid interview. So yeah, that was the last Joe Rogan show that I watched. I've been meaning to watch his show with Jordan Peterson. I've seen clips from it, a clip here and there, but I've been meaning to sit down and watch the entire one. I'm sure it's an interesting conversation. I've seen the Alex Jones interview, obviously, and that's just fucking classic, man. Those two guys, say what you want about Alex Jones, like, he and Joe Rogan play off of each other really, really well. That was just a really funny, interesting interview. So I also love how you guys don't hide your negative sides, like when you guys say scammed again. Well, yeah, I mean, like, look, what are you gonna do? You can either, you know, pretend you haven't made mistakes in the past, or you can just own up to them and make it part of your shtick to be honest about your failings as a human being. I try and present myself that way to you guys because I really, and it really has nothing to do with, I mean, what it really has most to do with is that I don't want to be held to the standard that I see some of these other people being held to that are entertainers. Like, I don't want to create this audience that surrounds me that expects perfection out of me. You know what I mean? I want to present my negative side. That's why I do these when I'm down in the mouth and shit. You know, if I'm feeling really, really super depressed, I'll do one of these. And it's not because I need it for catharsis. I could find that elsewhere. I mean, it is cathartic to do these, but like I said, I could get that elsewhere. It's because I want to show you guys what I'm like so that you don't expect me to be some fucking perfect thing. You know, some perfect, infallible beast that is never wrong. Because I see the standard that some of these people are held to, these people that try and present themselves as genuine intellectuals and shit. And it's scary to me. It's scary to me, that standard. I don't want that. I don't want that. I'm a flawed human being. I'm not super educated. You know, worked in really normal jobs. I can't really speak with authority on anything other than maybe like oral storytelling, and even then I don't have a degree that would be adjunct to that at all. You know, and I don't really try and fucking present myself as an expert in those things. So there's a Fortnite streamer in here trying to scout people out of here. I'm not even gonna ban him. Dude, let me tell you something, man. I don't know if you're in here listening. You probably just dropped that in, or it's probably just a bot. But just in case you are, like, trolling some of the, you know, live streams that people are watching and doing this, like, if you're having to go into other people's streams and go like, hey, I'm playing Fortnite, come watch me, you're never gonna make it, dude. It's never gonna happen for you. I'm sorry, bro. You're chasing the dollar that's tied to a string that's moving faster than you can move. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I feel really bad for people that are in that position, you know what I mean? That are trying to inorganically create buzz around what they're doing. And it's usually, and I hate to say it, dude, I hate to, because it's going to sound smug as fuck, but it's going to come out of my mouth. It's usually because they're not talented people. It's usually because there are not talented people. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to entertain a crowd of people, and they just want to jump the line. They think that if they go to a person that's got a modicum of talent, that's got a group of people watching them, and drop a link, like a good portion of that person's stuff, the audience is going to go, oh yeah, I want to watch this kid play Fortnite. Yeah, see, smug, douchey thing to say. I know. Honesty is smug and douchey sometimes. I did give it a caveat, you know. I did say it was going to sound smug and douchey, and it did. But it's the truth, too. It's the smug, douchey truth. You'd go troll. Yeah, I feel bad for him. Don't go fuck with him, man. He's trying to make something inorganically happen that's never going to happen for him. And I mean, he's playing the game that everybody's playing right now, so he's literally like wading into an ocean of people just like him, hoping to fucking buy the Wonka bar that's got the golden ticket in it, and he's never going to find that. He's just always going to open it up, and it's going to be double fudge ripple every time. There's going to be no glint of gold in that chocolate bar for this kid. There are just too many kids out there chasing that same chocolate bar. Too many kids. Too many people want to be doing like on video production stuff, but they don't want to do the work that it takes to be a person that people want to watch. They don't want to put in 10 years of video making to be a person that can hold an audience and stuff. They don't want to make the connections. They just kind of want to pop into somebody's stream and skim views off of it, and hopefully, you know, if they do that enough times, then a bunch of people will watch them and they'll make $1 million playing Fortnite for a living. It's like, that's not how that works, dog. That's not how that works. Anything, like if you want to do anything, especially if it's off the beaten path, we're talking about like outside of just a job that anybody can get, right? You don't necessarily need schooling, but you can't skip around the practice. You can't be a musician if you never picked up a guitar until yesterday and you don't plan on practicing the guitar. You're just gonna go out there and start making music. You can't sing if you've never had vocal coaching in your life. You know what I mean? If you've never tried to develop your singing career, you're never going to fucking, you know what I mean? You're never gonna go out there and get a recording contract if you can't sing. If you don't spend time practicing what you do. And like I said, not vocal coaching, but like coaching yourself, actually working on singing in front of people. Like vocal coaching is, when it comes to singing, the reason I said vocal coaching is this. A very small group of people in the world have what's called perfect pitch. And then another chunk of people that's larger than that, but still a small group of people, have median pitch. They can hear pitch and they can kind of discern between it. The vast majority of people have trouble discerning pitch. And if you sing to other people, to a person that does have pitch, they can tell you if you're singing well or not. When you watch things like American Idol, and they play here's the worst auditions, and somebody comes out and they're like, I'm gonna be singing I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. And they're like, oh, big song, all right, go ahead. And you know, and they're like all into it, and they're doing all the I hope life treats you kind. And that's a person that's been in their room their whole life, singing along with the radio, that never sung in front of a person that had pitch, that could tell them, hey, you can't sing. Maybe go get some fucking... Oh yeah, I love when they do that. I will always love. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You're just like... anything that you want to do. And I'm not saying that person probably could be a good singer. They probably could if they took the time to practice it. Go get the training. Go get vocal coaching. You know what I mean? Actually practice your craft. Put in the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of deliberate practice that it takes to be an expert at something. Or don't try it. You can't skip that line. And now is like a bad time to just want to be jumping in to like video blogging and shit as a way to make money. Like you want to have a plan doing that. You want to have your shit lined out. You want to be good. You want to have your shit all labbed. You know what I mean? Eastern values discipline, practice, while Western values God-given talent. I mean, there are some people that are just absolutely born with a proclivity to do some kind of thing, you know, whether it be science or playing the piano or whatever, but most of us are not those people. The vast majority of us are not prodigies of any stripe. We're normal people, and normal people have to practice something if they want to get good at it. A wasp. I mean, I think people forget to realize you have 10 plus years of YouTube experience and think they can do the same thing. Also, I mean, it's not even just me I'm talking about. I'm talking about this Fortnite guy. You know, and I'm not saying that the top Fortnite guys have years of experience, but they came with a very deliberate plan that was designed to get views. They're very good at the game. That's part of the plan. You've got to be super good. Nobody wants to watch somebody just get killed over and over again. Fortnite, right? They want to see people that win the battle royale over and over again. So you got to be good at the game. A lot of people miss that step and get mediocre at the game. Well, there's a million people out there that are fucking mediocre at the game. I can sit next to my fucking friends on the couch and play Fortnite and watch people that are mediocre at the game if I want to. Well, not my friends, but you get my drift. If I was a Fortnite guy, if I was a Fortnite dude looking to watch somebody play Fortnite, I've got a bunch of mediocre players that I play with all the time. I want to watch badass players. So that's step one. You got to practice the game enough to be really good at it. Then you've got to have the ability to be charismatic. You can't just sit there quietly and do nothing. You've got to talk to people. You've got to engage your fucking audience. You've got to make bits happen. You've got to make funny moments happen. You've got to highlight funny moments. You've got to have the sense of comedic timing to know when there's a lull, when you need to spice things up, when do you need to try something new, when do you need to involve the audience more, when do you need to shift gears. All of those things only come with practice. Only. You can't just watch somebody else and do exactly what they're doing and expect to have. Now, I'm not saying you can't emulate somebody. I'm just saying you have to put in the work yourself. You can't just watch Ninja or whatever his name is, the top Fortnite dude, go like, oh, I'm just going to do what he does. Hey, guys, it's me, Ninja Star, playing Fortnite. No, that don't work. All right, Cicada, jeez. I get it. Can you chill out? As soon as you stop, one of your buddies starts elsewhere. Like, what is that? I wrote a script to What the Fuck Happened To, except it's music rather than movies. Cool. Cicadas be buzzing. You gonna watch McCain's funeral? No. I don't watch funerals. For the same reason I don't watch golf. In fact, I'd probably rather watch a funeral than golf, but I still don't watch them. Cicada's not my friend. Oh no. Take someone like Buckethead, for example, one of the best guitarists of all time, but he put in a fuck ton of work. Every good guitarist just literally lived with a guitar in their hands. Jimi Hendrix played guitar constantly. To get as good as he was. Steve Vai, same thing. Any great musician, any great actor has spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of hours of deliberate practice doing what they do. Honing their skills. There's no step ladder to that kind of skill other than just absolutely dedicating yourself to practicing it. McCain's funeral is going to be the bomb. Is it? How do you get a bad song out of your head? You don't. You just suck it up, and eventually it should pass. You know, for me, I have a rotating group of songs that get stuck in my head. Some of them I really like, some of them I don't. I've talked about Wild About Harry here before, and it's, you know, it's always back there. I'm just wild about Harry, and Harry's wild about me. It's always back there. It's always tormenting me slightly. How long did you spend developing your podcasting skills? Well, I was on the Drunken Peasants for almost 4 years, so I got 4 years of experience on a big podcast. Before that, I had years and years of experience doing live commentaries and live shows and videos that were one take, live kind of speaking, so I was not new to the YouTube game by the time I joined the Drunken Peasants. So, yeah, quite a while, I guess, would be the answer. Paul, were you ever a car guy? No, not really. Paul, do you think that your success on YouTube has to do with the fact that you were here since the beginning? It certainly helped me. If I hadn't been here from the beginning, I probably never would have had any interaction with TJ, and then I probably never would have been invited onto his show in any capacity. Although it wasn't TJ that first recommended me as a guest, it was Ben. But that being said, I don't think if there was that kind of history between TJ and I that Ben would have ever considered me as a, because I wasn't even really making videos at the time. I wasn't doing anything. So definitely being around for a long time and having my name out there and being somebody that people that kind of made it in the community knew of certainly helped. But that's a big part of YouTube. You've got to know people. If you don't, you're just spinning your tires. Like you're almost required to know somebody to get a leg up, to have somebody with a bigger channel that's willing to help sponsor you or help push your content. If you don't, I mean, even TJ had a long list of YouTubers that at the time were bigger than him that elevated his stuff, saw his stuff, made video responses to it, left comments on it. Back in the day, their subscribers could go see, and you know what I mean? It's all a ladder, and if you don't know people, you don't go out and make contents. You're not gonna, or contacts, networking. Yeah, you're just probably not gonna go anywhere. I mean, I'm sure some people just start things and it takes off organically on their own, but I look like hell. Cool. Hell's a cool place. What flavor of vape? Oh, Bubblicious grape. What flavor of vape? Bubblicious grape. What happened to G-Time Johnny? I don't know. He lives in the woods, I think. What do you want, bud? Come here. You want to go inside? Go inside. Yeesh. Poor Dinor. It's just like a little ball of anxiety. Sometimes when there are only stupid questions in the live chat, I just keep pontificating until there's something. You do? Hot pink. Yeah, the song that's stuck in my head right now is a song by Let's Eat Grandma called Hot Pink. You should go listen to it. Give it a chance. When it starts, you might think like this is gonna suck, but it's a badass song. It's a slow burn. It builds, you know what I mean? You gotta stick with it. But it's awesome. It's stuck in my head. It's been in my head for a few days. Heard about Paul Ziegel's channel through TJ's recommendation back in the good old days of YouTube. Yeah, see? That's how it works. I think the first time I'd heard about you was through TJ's Just Cause video, yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty big shout out. Did you have anxiety about responsibilities when you were a young adult? Kinda. I still do. I mean, responsibilities suck. They really do. But, you can ignore them to a certain extent, but you suffer the repercussions of that. So, anywho, I'm hot. This has been going